Find the value of k if the remainder obtained after dividing 2x cubed plus kx squared plus 7x minus 3 by x minus 3 is 0. It's basically saying find what k is, what number, what integer could k be, that when I divided this by that, the remainder is 0. So if the remainder is 0, then I know some things already. If I want to use synthetic division, I would know that 3 would be in my box. I'd have 2k, 7, negative 3 up here. I would know that I would bring down my first term. I know that my remainder would be 0. I can do the synthetic division forwards as far as I can get. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I don't know what k is, so I don't know what number to put here. So then I could work backwards as well, though, and I could just meet in the middle. I would know that 0 would be my remainder, so then it must be a 3 here because negative 3 plus 3 is the only way I could get a 0. And then I can figure out what number went here to get me to have a 3 there. And then I could figure out the number that went here to get me to get this number. And then I could just keep going backwards until I figure out what k is. I personally like to use the remainder theorem. If they told me the remainder is 0, since they told me the remainder is 0, the remainder theorem says that I can take x minus 3, which will turn into x equals 3, and I can, every time I see an x, I can put a 3. And I know that the remainder is 0, so when I do that substitution, it should equal 0. If they told me the remainder was 5, then it would equal 5. So I do the math. I would get that I have 54 plus 9k plus 18 equaling 0. I'd have 9k plus 72 equals 0. I'd have 9k equals negative 72. Once I do opposite operation, I divide both sides by 9, and I would get that k is negative 8. And if you were to put negative 8 here instead of k, you end up with 0. If you were going backwards, you would end up with the 1 here. That must have been a negative 6 in order for you to get a 1. This must have been a negative 2 in order for you to get that 6. And then negative 8 plus 2 is the only way you could get negative 2. You would have still gotten negative 8, either way you think about it.